Okay, so I have finished my ellipse shape here. So this is the actual mystical lantern outline here. And now we're going to square it off, which is going to just give it a different look. So I'm actually going to create my square so that my lantern looks more like an eye. And that's kind of why I gave the name the I Spy Trivet. It looks much more like an eye to me in this motif. Now, unlike the lemon square motif that I created a while back, which you guys love that motif, I squared that ellipse shape off so that the lemon showed on an angle. Now with this, I'm going to do it so that it's actually perfectly on its side to create that look like an eye. And I'm going to show you, I've already done one side of it here. And so this is what it will look like. And just needs to be blocked a little bit here. So that is the shape. I'm not sure why on camera it's showing a little ripple here, but it's nicely rounded here, but for some reason on camera it's showing up as a ripple. And so this is probably the most challenging, is taking odd shapes like this and squaring them off. So you can see we had to use some taller stitches to create our corners and then come back around to sit closely to the motif. So in this case, we are going to square off on the either side of the points here. And so that's what I'm going to take you through now. I've done a lot of math to figure this out so that you don't have to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring back this creamy color here, which I believe they called it the ecru. Yes, ecru. So this is going to be the background of the squared off portion. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to start in one of the points here, and I'm just going to start in this one because I like to kind of even out where my knots are. So I'm going to insert my hook and I'm going to pull up a loop here. And I'm going to chain one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place 2 single crochets into this space. So our goal here in this first round is to flatten out any corners and any rounded shapes, because we want to manipulate 4 corners for our square-like shape. In this case, it's going to be more of a rectangle. So we've got 2 single crochets into this space. Now into the next stitch, we are going to place 1 half double crochet. Now we want to remember that we want to go right into that very first stitch there. So we'll yarn over and 1 half double crochet. Okay. Into the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. So we're gradually increasing the height of our stitches here. Into the following stitch, we are going to do an extended double crochet. So we're still going to yarn over and into the next stitch. We're going to pull up a loop, and when we yarn over, we're just going to pull through 1. Okay, so we still have 3 loops on the hook. Then we yarn over, pull through the next 2, and then yarn over and pull through the next 2. So you should see that our height is starting to increase, which is what we want. So we need to increase the height so that it's going to fill this gap here where it shaped downward, right? And eventually we want to meet up to the top of the ellipse here. So the next stitch, we're going to go into the next stitch here, and the next stitch is going to be a triple crochet stitch. So that means you're going to yarn over 2 times, insert your hook to pull up a loop, and now you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. You'll still have 3 loops on the hook. You'll yarn over again to pull through the next 2 loops. You'll have 2 loops left. You'll yarn over and pull through the last 2. So you can really see how we are increasing. And into the next 3 stitches now, we're going to do the same stitch, and that is going to be the extended triple crochet stitch. So we're going to yarn over twice like we did before, and into this next stitch here, you're going to insert, just working over that tail there, pull up a loop. You have 4 loops there. Now you're going to yarn over and only pull through 1 first. So we're just extending the height of the triple crochet. So you still have 4 loops. Now you're going to yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, then yarn over, pull through the next 2, and then the next 2. So you get the drill. And we're going to do the same thing for the next 2 stitches. So this is an, whoops, I need to yarn over twice, and I'm going to only pull through the first loop first. And then I continue with 2, 2, and 2. And I'm going to do that one more time. Yarn over twice and create the extended triple crochet stitch. And there's the last one. Okay, so we've got 3 extended triple crochets, 1 triple, 1 extended double, 1 double, 1 half double, and then these 2 single crochets at the very beginning. I will also be putting up a graphic with a list of each of the stitch types that you need to insert, and that way you'll be able to press pause when it comes time to repeating the method. You just press pause and then follow along, okay? So what we've come to now is we've come to our very first corner that we're gonna form. So what we're gonna do is we are just going to chain 1, okay? Now most people will chain 2, but because there's a lot of laciness going on here, I don't want there to be too much of a gap. Again, this is meant to be a hot pad or a trivet, so we wanna make sure that there's lots of opportunity to barrier or block that heat from hitting the surface. So I'm just chaining 1 for my corner. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work into the next 3 stitches with a double triple. Okay. So I've never really done this one on the channel before, but it is just a continuation in that method of how many times you're going to yarn over. So in this case, we're going to yarn over 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. That's a lot. And in the next stitch, we're going to insert that hook, pull up a loop, and at this point, you're going to have 5 loops on your hook. So the drill is you yarn over and pull through the first 2, then you yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, and yarn over one more time and pull through the last 2. So that is how you're going to keep increasing the height of your stitches. So you can see it's a little longer than the previous one. So we're going to do that 2 more times. So remember, you're going to yarn over 3 times, insert, and then you're just basically pulling through 2 loops up to 4 times. Okay, so there's a 3rd one. Okay, and then we do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Into the next stitch, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Okay, so you can see that chain 1 has left a gap. It doesn't quite look like a corner just yet, but you can see it wants to jut out there, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, continuing on, because now we need the stitches, so the stitches are going up in length, because we need them to rise up to the highest point or the highest side of our ellipse. And we're getting pretty close. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to decrease the length of our stitch to come back towards this edge here. So into the next 2 stitches, we are going to place an extended triple crochet. So we're now going down in length or height. So now you're going to yarn over 2 times. and insert into that stitch. And you're going to pull through one loop only. Remember, this is an extended triple. So anytime the term extended is put in front of the name of a stitch, means you're going to do that one little pull through one single loop at the beginning. And then you continue on as usual. You pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you pull through 2. So essentially you just keep pulling through 2 until you have no more loops left. Okay, and now we're going to go into the next stitch and do the same thing. Yarn over twice and pull through only the first loop at the beginning, then pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Into the next stitch, we're going to do a triple crochet. So just a regular triple. So yarn over twice, insert, and 2, 2, and 2. And now we're going to do one double crochet, which is just one yarn over, insert, nice and easy. You should be familiar with that one. Into the next one, we're going to do one half double crochet. So now we just pull through all 3. Okay, so now you should be able to start to see that something's happening here. So if I pull that out just a little bit, you can see that's where that first corner is forming. So from here, we kind of had to increase the height just to create a little bit more of that outer shape, and allowing the corner to come through and still be in line with the top edge of our lantern shape here. So what's going to happen here now along this side is we are going to place 7 single crochets. And so into each of the next 7 stitches, we're going to place 1 single crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so it's going to look a little wonky this very first round because the stitches are trying to form a new shape, but you should be able to see when I kind of just pull that out a little bit, you can see how now it was able to come nicely flush across. And then we are simply now going to reverse everything we did from the half double crochet to the corner. We're going to reverse everything we just did to come back down. Okay, and then that'll form your next corner, and the first half will be complete. So what'll happen is we've essentially worked from here all the way to this side here. And then when you reverse everything, when you go backwards, so we're going to increase the length of our stitch, and then we're going to decrease it back down. And you're going to place 2 single crochets into that corner, and then essentially you're going to do that method all over again. So you will start here, increase, increase, and then you decrease the length, your single crochets, increase, increase, corner, decrease the length. So you can see if you look closely, that first round has just a touch of a wonky shape because it is, again, trying to transform the shape into something else. But then as you can see, as we do more subsequent squared off rounds, then you're going to get a much more uniform look. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to now leave a graphic up here with the exact order that you're going to do now, just in reverse, but just to make it a little easier for you. It's sometimes some people like to have it actually written out. So you're going to increase the stitches, like I said, then decrease. And then I'll put up another graphic where it'll just take you through, see, so you've come around this way, to how to repeat this whole section here. So you have your 2 single crochets, increase the number of stitches, create your corner, come along the top, create the next corner, and come down. And you should have round 1 of your squared off shape complete. And when you've done that, then I'm going to meet up with you and we're going to talk about a round number 2. Now, when I reference round number 1 and number 2 in this case, it's of the squared motif. So in the ellipse shape, We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. Now, technically you could call this round 6, and perhaps that is what I will call it, so there is no confusion. But this is the first round of our squared off motif. Actually, that's probably what I'll do. So this is round 6, you'll be completed. And then once you're done that, I'm gonna meet up with you and I'm gonna take you through round number 7, which will continue to solidify our squared off shape. Okay, I'm just finishing round 6 and I'm slip stitching to join to the top of that first single crochet. So let me just take this out here, and it's going to be a lot of rippling going on. This is easily solved with some blocking, so don't panic. So you can see now our little lantern or eye shape is now transforming into a more rectangular shape. So it's not quite pointed at the corners just yet, but you can see where we've created the spaces for them, just like that. And as you stretch it out, you can really see that it's going to take shape. So let's go on to round number 7. And in round number 7, it's pretty much going to be all half double crochet stitches, except as we get into the corners. So we're going to chain 1. And into the very next stitch right here, we're going to place a half double crochet stitch. Okay. And then you're going to keep placing 1 half double crochet stitch into every stitch until you have 3 stitches left. So 1, 2, 3. So actually I only have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've only got 2 more here. So I'm going to go through it with you. So there's half double crochet. Okay. So remember that we're still trying to encourage these corners to become prominent. So we are going to increase from the half double crochet to a double. So anytime you come up to a corner, the 3 stitches leading up to it and the 3 stitches coming out of the corner will be double crochet stitches, including the corner. Everything else along the sides will be half double crochet stitches. So now I'm going into the last 3 stitches here. So I'm going to place a double crochet, another double crochet. This is my second one. And we have 1 more. Okay. So again, we're showing an increase in height. Now we're coming up to this little chain space, which is our corner. And now we're going to do a little bit more of a proper corner that you're used to. So we're going to place 2 double crochets into this space. So there's 1 and there is 2. And then we are going to chain 2 like a traditional corner. Okay. Then we go back into that space and 2 double crochets again. 1 and 2. Okay, so now you can see the corner is becoming much more prominent. And remember, coming out of the corner, the next 3 stitches will also get a double crochet. Don't forget to catch that very first one coming out of the corner. So there's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. So 3 stitches before and after the corner are double crochets. And then we return to doing half double crochet stitches until we come up to 3 stitches shy of the next corner. So I'm just doing a few here. Okay. So now you can see we're going to get a much more prominently shaped corner. So round number 7. Half double crochet into all the stitches except for what I just said. 3 stitches before into the corner and 3 stitches after, all double crochets. And you continue repeating that method all the way around. Once you're done that, we'll be ready for round number 8. Okay, so I am finishing off round number 7. And remember when we chained 1 and we went into the very next stitch? So this chain 1 is not going to count as anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we place a half double crochet into that stitch where it came out of, and that way we'll have a nice even stitch count. And then what we do here is we're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet stitch. Okay, and if you're ever unsure, count your stitches. So I now currently have 20 stitches along each short side and 27 stitches along each long side. Okay, and then I'll put a total of stitches up on the screen here because my brain can't think that quickly of how many stitches in total I currently have after round number 7. Okay, and now at the end of the day, if you have one extra stitch or one stitch less, it's not a great deal. However, when you're doing motifs where you want the sides to be even, you kind of want to pay attention to that. So this is what my motif is looking like now. And so you can see that little eye shape is there. And now we're getting a much more prominent squared off shape. Now it still needs a little bit of work because again, it's fighting against that curvature here and curvature here. So we're going to do another round. We're going to go on to round number 8, still using our cream color. So just to show you here. Okay. So we did 1, 2, 3 rounds in the cream, and then we're going to change up and bring back a couple of our accent colors just to bring in some visual interest. Okay, so round number 8. We're going to begin this round by chaining 2. Okay, and that is because we are going to be using all double crochets in this round. Now, a lot of times people chain 3, but I'm just going to chain 2 to keep this as uniform as possible. So then all I'm going to do is just go into the very next stitch and double crochet. Okay, and then we'll deal with this when we come back around, similarly to how we did with the half double crochets. So this round, round number 8, really straightforward. You're just going to place 1 double into each stitch all the way around. And just when you come to the corners, you're going to continue placing 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So that's it. That's all for round number 8. Okay, and now I'm coming up to that very last stitch. So remember we did that chain 2. So we're just going to ignore that. We're going to place our last double crochet right in that same spot and finish that stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch to join at the top of the double crochet. So we're going to ignore that chain 2 and we're going to go right in there. And round number 8 is complete. Okay, so you have something that looks like that. And now you can really see that the rectangle, it's now taking its own shape there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to change colors. We're going to just thicken up this border a little bit. So just like we did here, and you can see then the rectangular shape just starts forming a little bit more solidly. So what's going to happen is we're going to go back to this darker color here, which is the terracotta. We're then going to go back and do the cream and then do this mustardy color and then 2 more rows of just the solid cream. So from here on out, we are using mostly double crochet stitches except for where we're going to add these additional colors. So I'm just going to get you started on round number 9, and then that should set you off to finishing the rest of these rounds. So I did up to round 13 to get my full rectangle here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to snip off our yarn here. So we're finished with this color. And now what I'm going to do for subsequent rounds, since we're changing colors, is I'm actually going to now start in the corner. And this tends to help prevent any obvious seam that starts to form with further rows, with subsequent rows that we do. Okay, so I've got my new color here. I'm going to start in a corner space, and I'm just going to pull that through and chain 1. I always like to throw that tail over. And then I'm going to place a single crochet, chain 2, and then 2 single crochets into that corner there. Okay. And so we've got only 1 single crochet here. So when we come back around, we'll place the last single crochet into this space and slip stitch into the corner. And that will help get rid of any seams that may show up. So all we're going to do for this round, remember, don't let that one get left behind. 1 single crochet into each stitch, and that's it for round number 9. Nice and easy. And then once you get to your corner, you're going to place 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets, just like we've been doing with the double crochets. Okay, nice and easy. So that's what you're going to do all the way around. Once you're finished with this dark color, you will slip stitch and snip your yarn. Then you will bring back your cream color and you will go back to doing double crochets. So I'll leave a little graphic here as well, just so you can press pause and be reminded. So this will be round number 9. Then for round number 10, we're bringing back the cream color and we're using all double crochet stitches. Your corners are done exactly the same. For row number 11, we're going to be bringing back our camel color here, and we'll be doing single crochets again. And then for round number 12 and 13, you're going to bring back your cream yarn and you're going to do double crochets, and the corners are worked the same. Okay, so currently we are doing round number 9, single crochet. This is round number 10 with the double crochets. Round number 11 is single crochets. And then round 12 and 13, double crochets. So the single crochets just create this nice little thin kind of accent there. And then once you're done that, you will have completed your squaring off of your mystical lantern shape, or what I'm calling the ellipse or the eye. And then what you want to do is you want to create a second panel. So you're going to need 2 of these. So it's going to give your trivet some nice thickness to retain some heat. And then once you've got 2 of these panels done, so I've already finished one. So I'm just going to finish my second one. Then I'm going to meet back up with you and we're going to put these together so that we can finish off the full trivet.